this video, I'd like to take you through the steps of making this beautiful freestanding nativity. It's done by the company OESD. I will link the company down below so you can get it, an instant download if you want. Just fun. Now, when you look at the picture, you really cannot appreciate the beauty of this pattern. So I'm going to backlight to show you. Look at the textures in the garments. This thing was fun to watch it stitch out and to see what is going to come next. How are they going to do this? Oh, wow. I did it like in 3 days because it was just fun. Now, it takes quite a bit of thread, right? But it's a limited palette, so it's not the number of colors. Everything has this off-white, so that took 3 spools to do that much white. But the others were just 1 spool. So, well worth it. Of course, once you have the pattern, you can do it several times for family. It comes apart pretty easy, so you can store it flat. Just fun. You'll love it. So I hope this video will give you that courage to go forward with it and just enjoy the artistry of this gorgeous pattern. Now you may not be able to see it, but it is basted in the shape, and then I'm going to spray adhesive this foam core just exactly on those stitches. Then this is what's really interesting. You're also going to put down fabric on this side and fabric on the back to cover that area. So the front and the back are going to look great. They're just going to have this fabric, and then I'll let it stitch out again. And once it stitches out, I'm going to trim right next to that solid line so that all this extra fabric is removed. And we'll show you what that looks like. Now, as you can see, I trimmed the extra fabric away right next to the solid line that was stitched. Then the next stage, which is actually stage 3, it did the silhouette of the next little part of the wall. And I've got the foam core. I'm going to spray adhesive it down so it's right in that outline. Then I'll put fabric on top so it's covered and on the bottom. And then on stage 4, it will stitch around that and encase that foam core so it'll have fabric on the top and fabric on the bottom. Then I'll trim it again. Now, as you can see, I finished that part, both sides. The fabric on the back has been trimmed and the fabric on the front has been trimmed. Now I'm ready for step 5, which will be, it'll do some stitches across to give it a texture, and then it will outline, and it's just gorgeous when it's done. So we'll show you what that looks like. Now this is what it looks like when it's finished that next stage. It does all this beautiful stitching, puts the 2 pieces together like that. Then you're going to repeat the same process with the back of the stable and the mirrored side. And then these little picots that are stitched out, they just pull through the holes to attach them. And here you can see this little piece that was stitched out is going to pull through, that picot is going to pull through this hole and give it its shape. And then the same process is done with the top of the stable. This was done similar to the sides, the walls. Then the picots are going to be pulled through the different holes of these arches like that. Give it that shape, and then it has holes to pull through the picots to attach the walls to the ceiling. Now I've called up the donkey, and it fits in a large. I tried it in a medium and it didn't fit. And I'll say, okay. Then it takes me to the different stages, and they are listed in your pattern. So here it starts with these numbers. Here are the stages. It has a little picture so you know you've got the right color. That's really cool. And then number 1 is the pink lace, and it has the number for the color. And then I've got it threaded with that number, and I'm going to go ahead and stitch out stage number 1, which is this pink. Now I've gone to stage 2, and it explains that it's this gold lace. Now it doesn't really look gold to me, but it is not a shiny metallic gold, but it's really pretty. Number 0771 in the isocord thread. And this picture shows you what it's going to stitch out, and we'll go ahead and do that. What I really like about this pattern is they've designed it so that there are very few jump stitches, and that's where the needle will stop and then jump to a new place. And what they do is they just stitch to that place. And you kind of wonder, why did they do that? Well, it's wonderful because you don't have any stitches on the back to clip, and those are annoying. Like, they get caught in the next stage, and you've got this thread that's caught in the back. And this makes the back look really nice by doing this. It was very, very smart to do that. So now we have finished this gold number 2 stage. We'll go to number 3, and you can see how it's more filled in. And even though this looks like a lot of stitches, and it is, it could have been much more. So much of this is open work. Like when I backlight this nativity, it's going to show through on some of this, and it's just going to look marvelous. So we're going to go ahead and stitch number 3 in what they call brown lace right here. 1061. Now the donkey has finished, and he's just darning, and then another file will help you stitch out these stands, and the little picots pull through the holes, and then he stands really well. So though I just did the donkey, all the other pieces are just similar. Same thing, going through the stages. In this pattern, you want the pieces to stay pretty rigid. And the pattern explains that you try to not rinse all of the water-soluble interfacing away, because if we leave it in there, it will keep it starched a little stronger. I take it one step further, because even doing that, my little characters curl a little bit. So I take some of the interfacing that was cut away, and I'm going to soak it in this water till it completely dissolves, and it'll be kind of like a paste. And then I'm going to soak these pieces in this paste to infuse the fibers with a little more of this starchy substance. And they're just going to hold their shape a lot better. Then I'm going to put them between 2 pretty fluffy towels with a board on top, and wait to weigh it down and let it dry so that they're really stiff. Just a little trick that I picked up that will really help this nativity stay in good form. It's finished. I love it. This has been a riot to stitch up. I hope this video is helpful for you, and the little clues on what to watch for and what it's all about. And I hope you go down and purchase it and just have fun and add it to your Christmas celebrations. It will be a favorite.